What's up, guys? It's Benny. We have always made clear that this channel is about you and giving power to you and not gatekeeping, and making sure that your priorities are reflected in the work that we do, and that the grit and energy that we have is in service of what you believe is an important question in American politics, because you run this damn place. This is a nation of the people, power to the people, and that is what we went up to Capitol Hill to do, to deliver questions to individuals who, well, might not be asked impolite questions, or questions that typically the chat's interested in. And let me tell you what, the chat's interested in Jeffrey Epstein. And the reason why is because we were promised the truth about Jeffrey Epstein, and we don't want to pay taxes to pedophile cults. And so this is why we ask these questions. It's a class warfare question. It's a question about transparency and promises, and whether we were lied to. More importantly, who actually runs the country. And who definitely doesn't want you to know about their crimes. This is the question of the era, and this is why we asked Mike Johnson today. We asked him straight up, listen, are you in favor of Ghislaine Maxwell testifying in Congress? Are you in favor of the release of documents, subpoena documents of Jeffrey Epstein? You're in Congress, you're Article 1 of the Constitution, you have the power to do this. And Mike Johnson did not disappoint. I was blown away by this question. I was blown away. We're in Congress right now. We just finished this interview. It's why I'm still wearing a suit and tie. I was rocked by this answer. Here we go. A question here about it that concerns either testifying or testimony for Ghislaine Maxwell, potentially before Congress, or if you would support members like Marjorie Taylor Greene or Anna Paulina Luna on the release of subpoenaing the Epstein documents from the DOJ, whether you would support either of those.
Yeah, I haven't talked to Marjorie or Anna about that specific subject, but I'm for transparency. We're intellectually consistent in this. Look, Reagan used to tell us we should trust the American people. I believe in that principle. I know President Trump does as well, and I trust him. I mean, he put together a team of his choosing, and they're doing a great job. It's a very delicate subject, but we should put everything out there and let the people decide it. I mean, the White House and the White House team are privy to facts that I don't know. I mean, this isn't my lane. I haven't been involved in that. But I agree with the sentiment that we need to put it out there. And you know, Pam Bondi, I don't know, when she originally made the statement, I think she was talking about documents, as I understood it, they were on her desk. I don't know that she was specific about a list or whatever, but she needs to come forward and explain that to everybody. I like Pam. I mean, I think she's done a good job. We need the DOJ focusing on the major priorities. So let's get this thing resolved so that they can deal with violent crime and public safety and election integrity and going after Act Blue and the things that the president is most concerned about, as we are. So I'm anxious to get this behind us.
Yeah, and I can see that, because there's so many victories and there's so many wins that are happening.
We just had the most incredible 6 months of any administration, arguably in the history of the United States. There are so many accomplishments. It would take us a stack of papers this high, and yet we're having to spend our time talking about this. Let's get it resolved.
That's going to be wildly refreshing for this audience, and to speak on behalf of them, to hear somebody just say, let's just have transparency with the American people, get it out there, and there's no reason to protect predators, right? So. I mean,
of course.
You know, this is the family values party. Let's just do it.
What Epstein was involved in was an unspeakable evil. We got to stand against it, not just in word, but in deed. And so we'll see what happens. Look, I do trust the president. I know his heart and head is in the right place. I don't question that at all. And I'm convinced.
That is a pitch perfect answer. I am for transparency. We should put everything out there and let the American people decide. Pam Bondi needs to come forward and explain it. Let's get this resolved. You can see that Mike Johnson is irritated by the way that this has been handled, like so many of us, because for some reason, the sins of primarily left-wing Democrat billionaires are somehow coming back and slandering MAGA. And I take offense to that. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Johnson flips Epstein's script on GOP, says Ghislaine Maxwell should testify, Pam Bondi must release the files. Republican shared on a podcast with conservative pundit Benny Johnson that he would like more transparency at the White House surrounding the highly sought-after files. Asked if he would support the efforts for Epstein accomplice Ghislaine Maxwell to testify, he said, I'm for transparency. And he says that the Justice Department needs to do a better job. We're intellectually consistent on this. I told Trump. He put together a team of his choosing, and I think they're doing a great job. He said the White House and the White House team are privy to facts that maybe I don't know. But he emphatically said that Pam Bondi needs to do more. and needs to release more files. Fascinating. His sentiment appeared to cut against the White House reluctance to engage on the topic. Last week, Trump balked after a reporter asked him about Epstein, but President Trump even has changed his tune today, maybe because of the work of all of us, right? This is what you call tough love. This is what a movement is all about. This is how you create and fuse a movement. House Speaker Mike Johnson breaks with Trump on Epstein files. We should put everything out there. Look at this. New York Post, Daily Mail. This is a delicate subject. We should put everything out there and let the American people decide. He said, this is the Speaker of the House. He's third in line for the presidency. He's one of the most powerful men in America. And now these are the headlines. Everybody's saying it. Speaker Mike Johnson went on camera and said he supports Ghislaine Maxwell testifying and wants everything released. Now, there is fake news out there that Mike Johnson voted to block the release of the Epstein files. This is a fake, made-up garbage from left-wingers. The reason why this is garbage is because they think that you're dumb. They want you to they want you to not understand what House rules look like. But the breakdown, which Marjorie Taylor Greene came on and broke it down very succinctly for us, is that if you allow Democrats to take control of the House floor, they could start running impeachments against Donald Trump. The procedural vote was trying to use a hinge vote or an embarrassing vote like this, we just want to release the Epstein files to actually take control of the House floor. So that's what Democrats are trying to do. If you see that headline, it is fake. Now, ladies and gentlemen, President Trump has said for a long time that he actually wants the release of the Epstein files along with the JFK files, 9/11 files. At least on the JFK files, President Trump has absolutely kept his word on that. Trump today has thrown the ball back in Pam Bondi's court on this and says Bondi should release whatever she thinks is credible on Epstein, which I think is incredible. President Trump taking what I believe is a semi-cautious, but a good stance here technically, right? And this is what I think is the first great answer from President Trump on this. But also a consistent answer. In fact, if you watch some of his older interviews, President Trump saying effectively in this Fox News interview what he said today, which is that there are people who could have inserted or manipulated these files in order to embarrass individuals, okay? And that we have to be cautious about that. Granted. But that doesn't mean you don't release anything and that the case is closed. That's insane, right? You have to, that just means you proceed cautiously, right, on these things. President Trump's answer was great today. He said, whatever Pam Bondi thinks is credible, she needs to release it. President Trump ordering the release, saying that some files, or some things have been manipulated. Okay, that's fine. Let the American public see it. Explain your work. Do a press conference. Talk about it, right? We know there are different lists. People on our program have said that there are different lists. Alan Dershowitz has come on our program and said that there's a list of just people that he knew and had coffee with, or is his gardener, right? Somebody who vacuumed the floors, right? And then there are people that actually committed crimes, and the federal government knows the difference between the two of them. So please explain the difference, right? Nobody's for innocent people having their lives destroyed here, but there were lives destroyed here, and it's time for some honesty. So we actually, in our interview, so our interview went live, and then Trump said this. Maybe in our interview, in our own small way, we had maybe a slight effect, right, on what President Trump has seen from his movement. Speaker of the House, obviously, is somebody who is a strong ally of the president, and when he calls for the release of the Epstein list, that's a big one, man. That's a good one. That's a big one. Having Speaker Johnson out and out call for the release of this list is massive. And that's our job. Our job is to always be working for you and always be asking your questions. And then, God has a plan. And here it is. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching the stream and for being here with us, locking in and helping us, go change America for the better. and fix this country by destroying the predator cults that run it. Right? Yeah, exactly. You won't find us pulling punches on this channel. We're going to keep talking, and we're winning. It's your boy Benny.